I would have preferred that he can continue rather than me go on here, but I'm just kidding, of course. Hello, everybody. I am so glad that we're finally getting started in this event. We've been very excited, to be perfectly honest with everyone, in getting this whole thing started, because there are actually a lot of people signing up. So the one thing that we want to go ahead and convey to everyone is that if we hit some sort of technical glitch because of the fact that the capacity of what we're anticipating, please be patient with us, and we'll try to rectify the situation as soon as possible. But in the meantime, we definitely have something a lot of you have signed up for, to really understand how to source, ship, and sell Philippine products into the U.S. market, and I guarantee you we won't disappoint. Now, let me go ahead and officially start the event by saying this. Our event tonight is about empowerment, collaboration, and entrepreneurship. This is the first official main event of Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena. And we are proud to say that we have a lot of signups tonight coming from all over the United States, as well as registrants from the Philippines. I think I might have seen someone also in Europe, so I'm not completely sure, but I think I saw one. Now, thank you for everyone that are here and who signed up. To welcome all of you to this amazing event entitled How to Source, Ship, and Sell Philippine Products in the U.S. She is the president of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce, Greater Pasadena. Please welcome Ishka Villacisneros Teschakova.
All right. Thank you for that, Ferdinand. Hello, everyone. Good morning to our audience from the Philippines, and good evening to our viewers in the USA. My name is Ishka Villacisneros, and I am the president of Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena. So we are based in Southern California, and our chamber covers about 43 territories. So this event we're hosting tonight is very close to my heart, since I was born and raised in the Philippines, specifically Quezon City, and currently residing in the United States. So my goal is to bring Filipino products as well as the culture to the mainstream market in the USA as well as globally. With that, please enjoy the show, and I'll pass it on to Joseph for the invocation. Thank you.
Jeffrey, do we have on standby for Joseph? Okay, we just invited him to the stage. He's going to be along in a minute. So we're definitely excited for this event, and we're happy to finally get it going. And I think we finally have Joseph on stage. Joseph, thank you so much for doing the invocation. Why don't we get started with that?
Thank you all. As we bow, thank you, Lord, for this wonderful and amazing blessing of today, for your word of hope, which gives us strength, for your love that makes our life meaningful, for your peace that gives us comfort, for your grace that renews and restores our life. We give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Joseph. We appreciate you doing the invocation for us. We'll see you a little bit later then, okay? Now I'd like to go ahead and ask to describe or talk about the mission and the vision of Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena. And to do that, I will be asking the Vice President of Marketing for Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena. Please welcome Paul Mirador. Paul, are you there?
There you go.
Can you?
Paul, you're on.
No, he's not.
I think it's connection.
Well, I love the fact that we're having some technical difficulty, but that's to be expected, everyone, because like I said, there's going to be a lot of people on this system, and we're just happy to try to bring you the information that we need for, for this event to happen. So, Paul, there was a lot of probably good things that you said, but at the moment we didn't hear it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next speaker of the event. I would like to go ahead now, and I'd like to go ahead and bring up to the stage a special guest acknowledgement. He is the senior advisor for Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena, but also president of COFAC, which is the Coalition of Filipino American Chambers of Commerce. Please welcome Jerry Palon.
Hi, thank you, Ferdinand. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Jerry Palon. I'm the president of the Coalition of Filipino American Chambers of Commerce. This is an umbrella organization of 22 Filipino American chambers all over the United States. And the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce Greater Pasadena is one of our vibrant chambers in the community. And tonight, we will witness a very important event where everyone is really excited to know how we could source, ship, and sell Philippine products to the U.S. market. Our coalition is really bent on helping our individual small business owners to be entrepreneurs. And one of these areas is to be able to sell Philippine products to the U.S. And is a good start for the importation also of Philippine products, and locally distribute this to the Filipino American U.S. market. So, without further ado, I want to give more time for our speakers. All our guests, way down there in the Philippines, and also from other areas in Europe, and of course in the U.S. We wish to welcome everyone. Thank you for spending time with us. And good luck to all of us, and listen to our great speakers who will be speaking tonight. Yeah, thank you so much, Bong.
Jerry, you're doing an amazing job for the organization by putting all the chambers together. Thank you for being here and acknowledging everyone. And again, thank you for all the people attending this event. There's some people from from different parts of the United States, as well as in the Philippines. And like I said, I think I saw somebody from Europe on there. And regardless, I don't know what the time zone is in terms of sleep. We're just glad you to be here. So thank you again. Now, let's go ahead and go to the main event of the event. Main speaker of the event. Now, when I first heard of her company, I said to myself, they will be great for the Philippines. They continue to amaze, and there's no doubt they're doing amazing things. So One Export is an online platform helping business exports better. Founded in the Philippines in 2016, One Export assists small and medium businesses with various country requirements, such as labeling, documentations, etc., so that they could export to their desired countries without losing focus from their core business. Here today to help bring Filipino culture to the USA, please welcome the CEO and founder of One Export, Mel Nava. Welcome, Mel.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and hopefully encourage everybody to really import products from the Philippines. So I'm really here to talk about how to effectively resell Filipino products in the US market. And we do have two products. Of course, we are from One Export, but we also have Caravan by One Export, which is really our marketplace for the diaspora of Southeast Asian resellers that want to sell products from home. So just to give you a background, thank you so much, Ferdinand. We are One Export is a one-stop end-to-end platform for cross-border trade. And currently, we are the largest digital exporter in the Philippines, where we are currently serving 15 markets, most of which we have acquired post-pandemic. We also have about 450 micro, small, and medium enterprises that are signed up with One Export, and we are able to sell to 3,000 SKUs to about 800 different stores around the world. So why are we here and why are we solving this, right? In a world where you can get anything and everything online, and I believe everybody here knows this, you know that it is extremely difficult to get products from the Philippines. And this is really because of the big market gap. There you have immigrants, people that want to sell Philippine products from, say, the United States, but also you have local micro, small, and medium enterprises that want to sell their products abroad. However, they're not able to because of problems like network, right? It's hard to find buyers and sellers. Uh, so much risk is involved because of compliances, as well as really making sure that you have enough capital to be able to export, right? But this major gap is really could be addressed in the form of reselling, right? Where if immigrants abroad decide to purchase products from the Philippines and sell it for a profit, you are able to also help a lot of micro, small, and medium enterprises. And so, as we are all from the Philippines. There are a lot of famous reselling models. One of which we know to be the Sari Sari Store, right? So the Sari Sari Store has been an institution that has been up and running since the beginning of time. And as we move forward, you know that there are online Sari Sari stores, so online stores that are sprouting, which really could help Philippine products go mainstream, right? Which is the main vision of the chamber. So, but let me show you how to start reselling and sort of like just go through very quick steps on how to become a reseller, right? It's not that hard, but of course there is a process to it, right? And of course, first, to be a reseller, it is important to be able to register your business or store name, right? There are several ways to do this. You can do it via Facebook, right, where you can create your own marketplace. You can do Instagram to target the Gen Z or millennial population. There are also marketplaces such as Amazon, eBay, and Shopify, where you're able to capture a larger audience. But all of this, you have to be able to sell effectively. So you can get, you have to be able to sell properly, get better reviews so that you can be seen, right? Whereas in Facebook and Instagram, you sort of have to pay for ads, right? But for Amazon and eBay, you have to sell properly so that you can get to the top of their search list. And for Shopify, you need to be able to sell more in terms of you need to be able to sell more by really spending on ads either on Facebook or Instagram to bring people to your store. So the second step really is to be able to source products from the Philippines. And later on, I will tell why there is such a big demand. But as you can see, as I've earlier mentioned, sourcing products from the Philippines will really address sort of like this gap where you have a significant diaspora, specifically based in the United States. But more than just choosing products, right? It is important to really understand what are the things that interest you, right? Because if you start a business, just selling products that will sell, but they don't interest you, you will also not have the passion to really, go on with your store, right? And be able to make sure that to be able to sell, right? The other things that you really need to take note is who do you plan to sell to, right? Do you plan to sell to the Filipino diaspora, right? The first generation Filipinos that are now immigrants? Do you plan to sell to the second generation Filipinos, right? Because all of them have like different cultures that you don't necessarily that also have like a different communication that also have different communication methods to be able to get to, right? lastly, third, you need to also understand what products are marketable. There are different products marketable to the different segments you decide to choose with, and who are you competing with? Are the products currently available in your market? You will definitely have a better chance of selling if products are not available in the market because you are the first one to bring them, and if and you don't have a lot of competition versus if the products are already there. So when you source products from the Philippines, for example, Caravan by One Export, which is something that we have built, you have over 3,000 products worth in products that you can source from in the Philippines, and you can shop products at wholesale prices, right? There are three methods to be able to do this. You can either choose from our bundle boxes. So we have different bundle boxes to help you start with your business. You can choose different products from our catalog. And if you're also not sure, you can also just get a sampler box to try the products that you'd like to sell. And from there, really, start to create your own, or start to curate and create your own online store. Um, Third, you will need to brand and market your products, right? So this is sort of not easy, especially because by in selling in the US, you really need to be able to take on a lot of the technical requirements, right? So this is from business registration, right? But up to even packaging, where you really have to make sure that you follow US DA standards or US FDA standards, or whatever standards there are for non-food products. So, for example, for non-food, it has to have a product from the Philippines, right? So, those technical requirements you need to be able to understand. What is the labeling of your product? So, in the US, they're a little more particular with this because they want to make sure that there are no claims, there are no false claims. These claims are backed up by proper documentation. And lastly, which is very important in the US, what does the packaging look like, right? So, for example, because products are being shipped from the Philippines to the United States, the packaging has to be sturdy enough to be able to withstand shipping and other factors, right? But it also has to look good and appealing enough to the American market, right? So that's one way to brand the products. But also, like, and maybe this could be the tale of either do you want to market it? Are you a dried mango or a coconut product, right? So these are two different products from the Philippines: dried mangoes and coconut. Obviously, both are very popular in the Philippines and also abroad. But let me just show you the story, right? Dried mangoes initially started off as a local product that wanted to go global, right? So they wanted to be able to preserve dried mangoes in the 70s because there was just so much dried mangoes, or there was just so much mangoes available. However, because they wanted to preserve it, they started doing dried mangoes, and eventually people started picking it up. So you had different Filipinos bringing it as pasalubong or as gifts to their families abroad, right? And eventually it became a mainstream product, right? Whereas coconut or coconut water, virgin coconut oil, it really started off as a trend because a lot of people saw the opportunity. Like, so for example, it started to boom when, say, Madonna started becoming an advocate for coconut water, right? And so suddenly we all knew that coconut water is something that is great and has health benefits. But when Madonna or all of these celebrities started to pick it up, right, they started marketing it as a global product, right? So also ask yourself, if you want to be a reseller, do you want to market it like the way that Philippine mangoes marketed themselves abroad? So a local product going global. Or do you want to take on a global trend like coconut water or coconut oil, right? Such as, what is being marketed now, right? So ask yourself that, because definitely this really will take into account how you sell your products, right? And so how do you sell? So we were able to ship and deliver to you door to door, right? So depending on what your targets are. So definitely there are two ways to ship. You can ship via air or you can ship via sea. Air is normally recommended if you're not going to be shipping in a large sum of quantities. And C is if you have heavier products and you're really not in a rush, right? Air will get to you in a week's time, but C will probably get to you in about 4 to 6 weeks' time. And basically, what we are able to do is consolidate your orders from the Philippines. We can ship to you via door to door, or our partner is Shop Sari Sari, Ishka's company, where you can actually you pick up products from their Monrovia warehouse, right? So we're able to do it almost so seamlessly, so you can get your products and resell. And lastly, it's important to really just sell products abroad and sell to your market, right? But basically, I think the goal here is we make importing easy, convenient, and affordable for you. And hopefully that will also help in terms of really making sure that you get enticed to import products in the Philippines. However, I'd also like to point out that there is a viable opportunity to sell Filipino products in the U.S. market, and I do have a couple of studies and slides to be able to prove this, which I hope will also encourage you to really import products from the Philippines, help small and medium businesses, and of course help the economy. Right, the Philippines is one of the largest diasporas in the market. And really, out of the 14, you have in total market size in the United States, for example, you have 14.1 million Asian immigrants, right? 4.4 of this is Southeast Asian immigrants. And the interesting part here is actually almost almost half of the Southeast Asian immigrants in the United States, half of them are Filipino immigrants, right? So, of course, like you have Japanese products going mainstream, but the thing is, like Japanese products are not. The Japanese immigrant is not as huge as the Filipino immigrants, and the goal for this really is with the chamber and with DTI is to grow. Given that the strength is in our numbers, the strength is the fact that we have a lot of Filipino immigrants. The fact is we have to be able to grow Philippine imports through Philippine immigrants or Filipino Americans, right? So we have 2 million Filipino immigrants that actually make up half of the Southeast Asian immigrants, but you also have 4.2 million Americans, right? So 4.2 Filipino Americans that make up really like these are second generation Americans, Filipino Americans, or Filipinos that really have acquired their citizenship or American citizenship, right? So this is what it is, where really there is strength in numbers. But to break it down for you, in terms of state, right? These are the top 10 states where Filipinos are based, right? So, for example, California obviously holds the largest Filipino population. Next would be actually, surprisingly, Virginia and Hawaii, right? So even if these are relatively smaller states or smaller in land size or area, you do have a lot of Filipinos, but there are also very few distribution channels, right? New York, you have actually New York would probably be the least population, but because they are so densely populated, you almost have a Filipino establishment, every 100 meters, right? So, there is a lot of opportunity because Filipinos are situated all across America, but also Filipinos have an average, a higher annual income versus most Asian Americans, right? So this also means that we have higher spending power. And if Filipinos like it, they are willing to pay a premium for these products. What are the other market opportunities, right? There is a widespread trust for Filipino businesses, and there is general acceptance for Filipino products. So this is a screenshot that we got from the Asian Journal, that there are about 194,000 Filipino-owned businesses in America. That is significantly huge. This is about, and they are able to contribute to 25.8 billion in terms of receipts in businesses and taxes. There is a growing popularity of Filipino food or cuisine, which is seen really in different major publications such as the New York Times, right? It's starting to gain traction, not just in the Filipino population, but in other areas as well, in other national ethnicities as well. And so you see that where it's starting to gain population. But for example, ube since last year or 2 years ago is starting to pick up, right? It's starting to be called the new matcha. People are starting to try it. People are starting to like it, and I really don't think there's any stopping from here and now. And lastly, there is a growing e-commerce penetration, especially in retail sales, right? So actually, if you look at this chart, right, in 2017 to 2024, in less than 10 years, you are able to see a significant spike with e-commerce growing by almost double in less than 10 years, right? In the past few years, this took almost 10 years to build. Now, to be able to hit double, you're just waiting for a couple of years, like 5 years, for example. What does it mean to be a reseller? Just by matter of regulation in the United States, you need to be a bona fide U.S. permanent resident. With the help of the chamber and of DTI, one expert is committed to really teach people how to sell in online e-commerce. We have a couple of classes that are lined up for people that really want to understand how to sell on, say, Facebook Marketplace or Shopify, right? Because it's something that we could do because we want to really help the growth of Philippine imports. And basically, hopefully take on products from the Philippines, right? There are different methods to sell, but it would really help the small and medium businesses if you're able to purchase their products, even not in bulk, right? Even in smaller quantities, so you can support their current operations. We are doing what we are doing because definitely we believe in bringing Filipino products to communities worldwide, specifically in the United States, but also help small and medium businesses and make Philippine products globally competitive. So we believe that we are able to provide a platform together with the chamber, together with Shop Sari Sari, together with all of the partners here to be able to provide opportunities for overseas Filipinos. So all you have to do is register for free, Caravan at oneexport.net, and we'll be able to help you sell online. Thank you.
Mel, I think you need to get some water.
I will.
But you did an amazing job, Mel. That was a very comprehensive. I know that you have, just a few minutes to be able to explain what you needed to explain. There's more of it. I know about your company, and I hopefully that everybody who's interested, please definitely go ahead and reach out to you. So with that being said, thank you again for that wonderful presentation, Mel. Now, I'd like to acknowledge some special guests in the audience at the moment. I'd like to go ahead and maybe turn over the virtual mic to a gentleman that has been instrumental in helping a lot of businesses understand international trade here in the Los Angeles area. I'd like to bring up a good friend and also the trade commissioner of the Philippine, the DTI Department of Trade and Industry here in Los Angeles. Please welcome Trade Commissioner Eric Elnar. Hi,
Thank
Eric.
you, Bong. Yes. So thank you for having us in this momentous event. This is very much in line with our marching orders of promoting more mainstream products to the US market. We are joined here this afternoon by our other offices in San Francisco, in New York, and also in Washington, D.C. We are full force today, and we would have a table later on during the breakout session. Please feel free to drop by in order to address some of our questions in exporting products from the Philippines as well as starting your business there. So thank you very much again for this opportunity, and let's see each other later.
If anybody out there is interested in understanding the whole trade system and importing export, I strongly recommend that everybody stick around for the session at the end, where you can sit down with the trade commissioners from all the different states. Now, I'd like to go ahead and acknowledge some of our sponsors in this event, and also we're actually going to do a raffle prize. Hopefully Paul will be able to join us and do a raffle prize, but this particular raffle prize, it was donated by Alberto R. De La Cruz Jr. And Alberto, we thank you so much for being a part of this event and being generous with the raffle prize. But I'd also like to take this time to go ahead and acknowledge our sponsor, media sponsor, GMA Pinoy TV, as well as along the other sponsors that we have, like Tok Tok, One Caravan, NGA 911, Echo Millennial, Western Surety, OfficeZilla, Global Business Impact, and also Regal Realty, Janice Jimenez. So with that being said, let me see if we can get our Vice President of Marketing and Branding for FACC GP to do a raffle prize for us. If not, we'll probably try to do it a little bit later. But Paul, are you there? Well, it looks like Paul's a little bit having a little bit of problem there. But for all those who just tuned in, thank you again for being a part of this event, which is to us is a momentous event for this chamber. And again, it's called How to Source, Ship, and Sell Philippine Products to the U.S. Market. Mel Nava of One Export just finished her presentation. And I think the beauty of this is that I think we're recorded, and I'm not 100% sure on that, but if you want to go ahead and do that and watch her presentation, or just go to YouTube, you can do that all day long in YouTube. That's what I love about technology. So let's go ahead, and I would like to bring up, if we can't get Paul online, I'd like to bring up the first sponsor pitch, and this pitch is coming from Global Business Impact. Her name is Mariflor Cruz. Mariflor, are you in the audience? Can you bring her up, Jeff? Well, it looks like we're looking for Mariflor.
Yes, let me look for her.
Okay. In the meantime, while they're doing that, again, I would suggest that everybody stick around. I know probably, it's about an hour and a half that we're doing, but we hope that you can stick around and join us in the lounge to be able to talk to other members of the speakers, especially DTI and One Export. And this is what I love about AirMeet. I'm sure a lot of people are used to Zoom. This is relatively new to us, but we love it because it enables us to do a lot more things and be able to put on these types of events to be able to get more audience. But in the meantime, yeah, there's going to be difficulties. But we do appreciate you sticking around. So let me check in again with Jeff, if we're able to bring Mariflor.
I am still trying to search for her in the audience.
Okay. If she is not there, and if you can find the next sponsor pitch, I'd like to bring up maybe Merwin from Merwin Montenegro from the Philam Ecom Global Business Network. Can you bring him up?
Either myself or Ishka, if you can pull him up.
Okay, let me see if we can pull him up. All right, I think I see him. I'm inviting him to the stage. There you go. So while we're waiting for Merwin, which I think he should be on soon, he represents a company called Philam Ecom Global Business Network. And he has some business ideas that he wants to present to everyone. And I think he's coming on board soon. and hopefully he knows how to turn on the mic. I mean the camera. I'm just joking, Merwin. Merwin, are you there, or can you hear us? Wonderful. Thank you, Merwin. Yes, Merwin, we're glad you were able to be here. And go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you're doing and what you wanted to present to the group.
All right. Thank you so much, Ferdinand. My name is Merwin Montenegro. I am one of the I'm the president emeritus of Filipino American Chamber of Commerce, Tri-County, and one of the co-founders of Colfax and Greater Pasadena. I'm also a franchise owner of JC Premier, Show My King, and Talk Talk Delivery Service. The founders of the companies are Jonathan So and Carlito Macadendan. We have over 54 business centers all over the Philippines and have offices in 9 different countries. The company started 14 years ago in food cart franchising business in the Philippines. To some of you may have heard Show My King, Mang Box, Noodle House, Boy Bondat, Potato King, Burger Factory, and of course, Show My King. Due to the pandemic, COVID-19, we changed gears to 12-in-1 online franchise business. That includes Talk Talk Delivery Service, food, health, and wellness. Most of our health and wellness products are organic and FDA approved in the Philippines. Talk Talk Delivery Service is the only Filipino-owned delivery service and is now in operational over the Philippines. Talk Talk Delivery is just like the Uber Eats delivery service here in the United States. To know more about owning your own home online franchise and Talk Talk Delivery Service, you can reach me at 909-319-3145. By the way, we also have our virtual online franchise and Talk Talk Delivery orientation every Monday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just let me know, call me, or I can send you the Zoom invitation link. Thank you so much and have a blessed day. Back to you, Ferdinand.
Thank you, Merwin. Thank you so much. And this is what I like about these events that we're doing, because it enables us to introduce Philippine products into the U.S. as well as any sort of franchising, entice investment into the Philippines, because this is what it's all about and what we're trying to actually do. So with that being said, let me see if I can try again one more time to see if we can bring up Mariflor Cruz from Global Business Impact. Did we have any luck, Jeff? Oh, I guess we didn't have any luck. So maybe we'll try to bring up Mariflor again. Again, we thank also all the other sponsors. Again, our media sponsors. I'd like to thank again GMA Pinoy TV and the rest of the sponsor, like again, Talk Talk, One Caravan, NGA 911, Eco Millennial, Officezilla, and Global Business Impact. Now, we'll try to see if we can bring Mariflor later on, but let's go ahead and bring up the next speaker. Let me go ahead and introduce her. Now, not only is she the president of FACCGP, and that's for Filipino American Chamber of Commerce, Greater Pasadena, but she is also the CEO and founder of numerous thriving companies. They include Californilla, Pinoy Town Hall, Ishkaster Media, NGA 911, and here to talk about how to create a profitable, and I said profitable, online store. Please welcome again, Ishka Villacisneros Tesjakova.
All right. Thank you, Ferdinand. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see it.
Not yet. There you go.
All right. Hey, everyone. It's me again. I am the CEO and founder of Ishkaster Media and CEO of Shop Sari Sari. Today, we will be discussing how to build, launch, and grow a profitable online store. So we have been around for 14 years now, and our services expanded to web design, graphic design, digital marketing, photo and video, pay-per-click advertising, printing, SEO, mobile apps, payment processing, and it's basically a one-stop shop. We manage accounts from zero revenue to 6, 7, and 8-figure seller stores. And one of the e-commerce accounts that we handled is called Shop Sari Sari. We import Filipino products and sell it globally as well as the mainstream market. So did you know that coronavirus increased the digital grocery shopping by almost 42%? Here are some more important e-commerce statistics that I think you should know if you're looking to sell online. So e-commerce is one of the most profitable industries right now. 59% of the world has access to the internet, and the total global retail e-commerce sales are projected to reach close to $5 trillion by the end of 2021. 8 out of 10 Americans now shop online, and 60% of millennials do their shopping online. The reason why people shop online is because of the convenience and to avail the free shipping option offered by the e-commerce stores. So let's discuss how to build. There are several options and platforms to build your online store. And the top 3 are in the US are WooCommerce, Shopify, and Wix. So what do online shoppers look for in an online store? 70% look at the product images, the quality, and 69% looks at the product reviews. 46% looks at the side-by-side product comparison. So one of them from ground up is called Mishenka Los Angeles. It's all the products that they carry is 100% handmade in the Philippines. And I just wanted to share a story. When we got a purchase order, it gave about 30 plus families in a small town of Laguna some additional income. And this brand was also recently featured in QVC, the #1 home shopping network in the USA. So when you launch a product, you need to consider that 30% of online shoppers prefer social media as a direct platform for their purchases. And when you start a business, one of the best practices is to make sure your social media account handle is uniform, because it will also help you optimize the social media accounts as well as your website. So one of the ways to do this is to go to namechecker.com just to double check the availability before you sign up. Mobile e-commerce growth is set to explode in 2021. So you better make sure that the online store that you're running are mobile friendly, or at least responsive to over 150 screen resolutions. If you need help with that, you can contact us and we'll gladly assist you. One of the reasons why online shoppers abandon their carts during checkout is because of the taxes, the fees, and the shipping is too high. You'll see that it's a whopping 55%. And the second reason is when you're prompted to create an account. That's why it's a good practice to always include a guest checkout. And lastly, if you notice, it's all about the checkout process if it's too long or complicated. All right, so now to grow your business, you may want to explore the advertising cross-channel e-commerce strategy. And that is between Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads. And here is here's an example of a Facebook shopping ad. You probably noticed that when you scroll through your Facebook, then you saw an ad, you click on it, it goes to the side, and it's directing you to the product. It's called digital marketing. It's a targeted marketing. This is a sample of your Google shopping ads. It's a pay-per-click ad. So let's say it's targeting people who are looking for Nike shoes, a black one, red one, regardless of the color. So we can help you do digital ads as well. So the top 5 e-commerce challenges that we notice a lot of our customers have been experiencing are almost 58% of consumers 35 years old and above prefer to shop in a physical location. And at least 30% of items purchased through online stores are returned. Only 2.6% of visits to the e-commerce sites are converted into purchases. So that's why we need to make sure that you offer them, good products, good photos, and, a lot of promos. 70%, close to 70% of shopping carts are abandoned. And 48% of online shoppers go straight to a large e-commerce marketplace like, Amazon, Walmart, eBay, and all of that. So there's a lot of issues, but there's also solutions. I can go on with this, but I need to pass it on to the next speaker. You can take a screenshot of our services, our contact information, and we can help you launch your online store. With that, Ferdinand, I'll give it back to you. Thank you.
Ishka, that definitely, just like Mel has, you have a lot of information, and I think that people who are interested in definitely becoming resellers or want to start their own online, you definitely have a spin on it, only because obviously you know how to market Philippine products, and you've been doing it for quite a while. And thank you so much for that great presentation. Now I'd like to go ahead and bring up. We apologize to May Cruz right now because we can't seem to bring her up. And we apologize for that. And but in place of that, I'd like to go ahead and bring up the next sponsor pitch, and I hope he's ready. I'd like to bring up the next sponsor pitch. It's coming from the president or CEO and founder of the Filipino Shopping Network here in the U.S. I'd like to see if we can bring up Paul Mirador. Paul, are you there? I guess Paul is not there. He's just spinning around and around. But that's to be expected again. You just got to go with the flow when it comes to technical difficulties, and we're trying our best to make sure we do that. But the good side of it is that it's probably doing that because we have so many people that are attending this event today, and thank you again for that. Like I said, some are coming from the Philippines, some in the Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, some in Europe. And, it's going to be crazy like that. Again, I'd like to take this opportunity to go ahead and, again, acknowledge our official media sponsor, which is GMA Pinoy TV, as well as all the other sponsors, Talk, One Caravan, NGA 911, Echo Millennial, West Security, OfficeZilla, and Global Business Impact. Again, we apologize to May for not being able to come up. But at the same time, show must go on, as they say. But in regards to all the other things that we're trying to do here, oh, I forgot to mention also Janice Jimenez from Regal Realty as one of our sponsors. All of you guys, thank you so much. Obviously, a lot of these things can't happen without your help and support, as well as also DTI. Now, it looks like we're really ahead of time. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like I'm probably going to be the one talking next. So I'm going to introduce myself, or unless Ishka wants to introduce me.
All right. Actually, I would like to share my screen. I'm going to be doing the raffle.
There you go. Awesome.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. Okay. So we have, I believe, 5 raffle prizes, and those are Amazon gift cards. Let me see. Hold on. Let me spin it now. So the winner of the first one is, who is this? Roche Orpina. So Roche Orpina, we're gonna be contacting you, and we'll send you the Amazon gift card. It's gonna be an e-gift card, and we'll do 2 raffles for this time. Okay, hold on. One more. Let's see. The next one is Nina or Nena Gapasin. Nena Gapasin. Let me just take a screenshot here. She is our second winner. All right, I'll give the floor back to you, Ferdinand. And just so everyone knows, I work closely with Ferdinand as well as Mel, and we have a passion of bringing Filipino products in the U.S. He's really an expert in logistics and just bring it all here and helping me bring it to the mainstream market. So with that, I will give it to you, Ferdinand.
Go ahead and take out the share so I can go ahead and share my screen.
Okay, there you go.
Hold on. And let's see. Wonderful. I'm hoping that everybody can see my screen. All right, thank you so much. And you guys have lasted this long, and we thank you again for any sort of glitches that we may be having. But again, this is an amazing event because we're very excited about not only for the chamber, but also the things that we're doing and trying to create awareness of Philippine products. So let me go ahead and do my presentation as part of it. I like giving backstories, everyone, so just bear with me, okay? Now, the reason why I have this where it says brief origin story Pacific Link is because I always have to give credit to my father, because I wanted to be able to go and say the reason why Planet 63 started was because of my father. My father was from Pangasinan, Lingayen, Pangasinan, and the reason why he did this importing, exporting back in the 1980s was because he wanted to do a little side hustle as well as trying to do something for Lingayen, Pangasinan, which is to try to sell, handicrafts, food back in the 1980s. So that was a side hustle he's doing, giving back into the Lingayen, Pangasinan. That's him. I don't tell him that I use him as an example. It's just like a comedy sketch, right? I don't want him to get mad, but that's him. He started a company called Pacific Link International. He's an importer-exporter. He also dabbled in commodities and vehicle equipment. Now, the reason why I'm bringing all of that up is because I want to be able to give you a comparison of why this is an amazing time for you to be able to really encourage you to go ahead and do importing of products or reselling, just like Mel said, and just like Ishka said. The tools of the trade back in the 1980s were faxes, teletype, landline, prepaid calling cards, library, and yellow pages. All of those, I cannot even imagine how I would do that now, because it's crazy the way my father did it. In 2021, obviously, you have the internet research of things, the vetting, internet communication, internet of things, disruptors, Flexport, cell phones, Viber, Zoom, everything that you can think of to make your job easier. Those are the tools of the trade. I'm just doing a quick comparison. Next, Planet 63, by the way, 63 is not my age, which a lot of people think it is, but it's not. I'm getting there maybe, but it's not. It's the country code of the Philippines. That's why I called it Planet 63. And I've always thought of the Philippines as, which has an amazing, full of potential, place full of potential. We're an export marketing and logistics management company. Now, what I want to do in the rest of my presentation is I want you to imagine you're an aspiring importer of Philippine products. I want to be able to sort of walk you through the opportunities that are abundant, I'd like to think, here in the U.S. market. In the U.S. market, just like Mel said, there's over 4 million Filipino Americans. Whoa, that's like a huge Filipino market in the U.S. Maybe more, right? Because I did this in U.S. Census in 2019, and as Mel mentioned earlier, the median annual household income is about $75,000. Now, what I want you to put in perspective is the fact that 4 million is amazing, an amazing amount of people for a database, right? But you got to understand, too, that it's not just them consuming the products, but you also look at them as an influencer population. Okay, so they're like your salespeople to a certain degree, just like Mel was saying earlier. Okay, now here's some facts that I want to throw in there to make it seem like I know what I'm doing too. No, I'm just kidding. It says Philippines is the 28th largest supplier of goods imports in the U.S. for 2019. Now, those are Philippine products, amazing, and not just across the board in the U.S. market. Okay, food, all the other stuff that the Philippine export. The Philippine imports into the U.S. $12.8 billion in 2019. up 1.5 from 2018, which is 187 million. I'm a big fan of the agriculture because of the fact that the Philippines is full of amazing products that can be, shipped here in the U.S. Because of, I focus on, like Mel was saying earlier, like what is it that the U.S. doesn't have? And there's a lot of products that the U.S. doesn't have, and a lot of them lies in the agricultural products. In 2019, there was agricultural products, if I'm not mistaken, about 924 million. It comprised of tropical oils, processed fruits and vegetable juices, tree nuts, and all of that. Obviously, all these numbers that I'm giving you, there's room for growth because we haven't even probably touched on that. We're the 28th. As amazing as that is, there's plenty of room. We need to really encourage a lot more exporting from the Philippines, and that means doing platforms like what Mel has, as well as encouraging them with a platform to be able to sell these products like Shop Sari Sari. How do we use these tools to move trade forward? Just basic plus, because I only have like 10 or 15 minutes, okay? Now, what I like to think of is that I like to leverage technology if you're going to be an aspiring importer. You leverage the technology, collaborate to create and capitalize on opportunities. My journey, this is my journey. It's got nothing to do with anybody, and this is just, I'm sharing to you what I've done. I've tried to nurture relationships like with the Philippine consulate and trade office in LA. So a lot of this stuff, I'm talking to the importers or wannabe importers or retailers in the US, okay? Talk to the SBA, to the trade professionals, the DTI sourcing agents, Philippine manufacturers. And on social media, you also want to be able to do Facebook, LinkedIn, just like, again, what Mel and Ishka was saying. The other thing, too, that you want to start to learn or understand is logistics management. The thing that I want to come across is that all of these things, that's why we call it shore, ship, and sell, is because of the fact that you also need to know a little bit how you bring the product from point A to point B. And the only way you're going to do that is to really encourage relationships or establish relationships with utilizing like supply chain professionals, U.S. customs broker, freight forwarders, and warehouse fulfillment. Okay, so all of those things you all at the same time have to manage, or at least try to understand what there are. Now, if you don't want to just market to, like just bring Philippine products, it could be anything else. Okay, now the other part is, again, I'm answering how to source, ship, and sell. Sourcing, again, these are exploratory phases that you want to do. The things that you might want to do is the question that I'm always asked is, what product do I sell? The only thing that I can tell you right at this point, which because of my limited time, I would start looking in Google Trends. I would start looking in Amazon. Amazon is an amazing platform, but it also contains a lot of data for you to be able to know which products are doing well in the U.S. market. So is Google Trends. So you just have to Google Trends and you'll see that. Now, where can I find all this stuff? I recommend using, if you're trying to look for a product, right? If you're trying to look for that, I would suggest go to TradeLine Philippines, which is like an online directory that the Philippine Department of Trade and Investment Center, Trade, have. And I would suggest you go ahead and check that out because it gives you all of the products that are in there as well as trade news. Okay. Now, how do I find it? The thing that in my own journey is that I continue to connect with the Department of Trade and Industry. They constantly help me with research and data. I talk to U.S. Commercial Services as well as the Philippine Chambers of Commerce. And if nothing fails, if you don't feel like reaching out to all these people, then go ahead and do the internet. Shipping. The thing that I'm always asked about shipping is, what is the cost of shipping products from the Philippines to the U.S.? Again, you're just trying to get all this understanding, right? Because you're going to want to do importing and exporting if you have at least some idea. And all I'm trying to tell you is create some sort of numbers in your head and trying to figure out what to do. Okay. Now, so with me, I'm all about trying to, again, talk to the U.S. customs broker and things of that nature. And then lastly, were we okay? Okay. So anyway, now, the other thing, too, is that a lot of people think, just like Mel, she touched on it earlier, when you're importing products from the Philippines, you don't have to worry about whether you're going to right away import 20-foot containers or 40-foot containers. Because the reality is some people just maybe even be impossible to do like even just one pallet. So there's what they call a loose, less than cargo load. So you can literally even maybe try to ship in, like a balikbayan box, just like what Mel has done. So to me, international trade has become so much easier because you have a lot of other options. So that's why your main job is, if you want to bring products in from the Philippines, is try to figure out what you're very passionate to maybe possibly sell in the in the U.S. market, and obviously crunch the numbers to see if it'll still make sense, because you could love doing bringing something in, but if it's not going to be cost effective for you, also it doesn't make any sense. So everything that I'm basically telling you is something for you to filter and figure out what products to bring. I'm not discouraging you to not bring it in. What I am encouraging you is to figure out, get all your numbers together. Okay. So with that said, I did sourcing, shipping, and then selling. This is where Mel, again, and Ishka has mentioned already. Again, these are all exploratory phase. What do? Do you sell it online, wholesalers, distributors, or retailers? Now, you can create your online store, Shopify, Amazon, your own website, shopsarisari.com. It doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of what you're comfortable doing. As for me, I concentrated on, because with the ingredients, I concentrated on calling on food manufacturers, contract manufacturers. So it's more like B2B as opposed to B2C. So it's up to you what you feel like doing. But right now, a lot of people are leaning towards online, like having their own online system. So you can sell it in different ways. Now, the other thing too is that the reason why I'm excited, if you can't tell right now with the way I'm talking to all of you, is that the Philippine Embassy in Washington, D.C. said Philippine exports that are eligible for duty-free or preferential treatment under the U.S. GSP scheme will now pay the most favored nation rates. What that basically means, in a nutshell, you get to save money in trying to bring in Philippines, and it's not going to, the taxes aren't going to be so high when it comes to certain types of products. So if you want to know more about that, then please go ahead and reach out to me. Now, Filipino culture, personalities, and food are becoming very popular in the U.S. Again, to support what Ishka and what Mel has already told you, the idea of this market being ready or primed for Philippine products, not only as a consumer, but also as an influencer, as a salesperson, is here. So if you're thinking about doing that, don't think too hard. Just figure out what products you want to be able to bring in cost effectively. And last but not least, I'm a big fan of call to action. To me, if you're really interested in doing a lot of that, I'd like to recommend all of you to ask for Ferdinand for a free consultation, but also watch Planet 63 from local to global to learn how to do that, because we have a show for that. But last but not least, the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena is very big on focusing on trade as well as serving its community. So please try to join and be a part of Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena, because that's what it's trying to do. Now, with that, all that being said, and I'm actually thirsty and ready to go and go pass out for talking so fast, I want to thank Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena for giving me an opportunity to speak to all of you. If you have any questions, you can contact me at Facebook, at Planet 63, LinkedIn, and info@Planet63. Thank you so much, everybody.
Begin. This button again turns the mic back on. The recording surface of the mic is covered.
Thank you, Ferdinand. I think we still have time for 3 more raffles. But before that, let's try to bring Paul on stage. Paul, let me see if you're ready. Okay. All right, Paul, floor is yours.
I'm here. I'm here. Can you? Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? I'm right here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought everyone can, but I guess not everybody can read lips. All right. Well, one thing I wanted to mention, and I forgot to mention earlier, is that I wanted to share with everybody the mission statement and the vision of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce Greater Pasadena. The mission of this chamber is basically to advocate success by sharing resources, promoting best businesses practices, and engaging entrepreneurs in a culturally diverse community. The vision of it is to be a trusted resource of entrepreneurs within the community. Now, the core values of the chamber is about trust and responsibility, honesty and integrity, empowerment, accountability, and professionalism. That is what the chamber is all about. So if you're thinking about joining the chamber, we welcome you and we invite you to join, and feel free to contact us about that. on another note, with regards to the Filipino shopping network, is a Filipino shopping network is a platform. If you have products here in the U.S. that you wanted to market, and think of it like Etsy, like Wayfair or anything else. But the Filipino shopping network is focused on Phil-Ams that are marketing and selling their products and in the U.S. And some of them don't have a website, or they need help with marketing and distribution. So the Filipino Shopping Network is a drop ship company, and you don't have to worry about marketing. All you gotta do is take the order and ship it out. We'll do the marketing for you. And if you have any questions, I'll have one of the tables on the lounge. Feel free to ask me any questions you may have. And with that, I'll give it back to Ishka.
All right. Thank you, Paul. And like I said, we still have the raffle prizes here. Let me open the wheel of names. All right. Here we go. The third one is, it's and our fourth winner is, let's see here. Momar Visaya. If you're here, you can message me, but we'll reach out to you for your raffle prize. With that, I'll pass it back to Ferdinand for our closing remarks and open up the networking floor.
Hi, Ishka. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, you are the roulette or spin wheel lady. That's great. That's so, I thought we weren't going to be able to do that. I'm glad that Paul was able to do that. And Paul, thank you for the presentation regarding Filipino Shopping Network. Again, that's another platform that all of us could try to combine our efforts and try to make sure that we go ahead and continue to promote Philippine products here in the U.S. market. Now, this is the part where I sort of go ahead and end the show, but at the same time give you a little bit about what's happening with the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce, Greater Pasadena. Right now, some people have asked us about how can they join Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena. The thing that we're trying to promote tonight is that we feel that we have a lot to offer to people, whether they're here, well, mostly here. But we also encourage in another relationship type, like a membership relationship to the people in the Philippines, because I know the people in the Philippines are currently watching, and we surely would like to create. Oh, are we doing the wheel again?
Oh, sorry. And
no, it's a delayed response.
Oh, okay. Anyway, let me see.
Just have it on.
It looks like, yeah, so I thought maybe we were going to do another one. I forgot. Anyway. That is a delay. I mean, I don't need to show my face, so can you guys hear me, though?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Great.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, the thing that I wanted to come across to everyone is that the Chamber has a lot to offer people, and not only to the community it serves, just like Ishka mentioned in the beginning. So today, we'd like to encourage a lot of the people watching here in the U.S., especially in the Southern California area and in the areas that we serve. We're actually, we wanted to invite you to go ahead and join the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena. And right now, we're actually having, I guess you could call it, for a lack of a better word, a special. in being able to join the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce. So let me go ahead and talk a little bit about that really quick. For nonprofit organization, it's normally $50. But to join for annual, it will be $25 up until midnight tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Ishka?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And then for individuals, it's normally $100 annually, but now it's only, again, up until midnight, it'll be $50. And then for corporate membership, it'll be $250 normally, but for tonight until midnight, it'll be $125. The thing that again, obviously everybody's all about why, that amount, right? So this is exactly what you get for being a part of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Pasadena. First one, the most obvious one, is the business-to-business matchmaking services. And that's already, no need to say any more on that one. But it's just basically that. We're able to connect you with other businesses that you can collaborate with, and hopefully be able to uplift your business by having that collaboration. We actually have amazing member discount programs. We also have Chamber of Commerce Fast Start programs, leadership training and mentoring, and wide resource base across Philam businesses. But the one thing that I want to end all of you is that, again, I know that a lot of people are watching there. What we're trying to do is connect Philippines and the U.S. with the chambers. So if anybody is interested in becoming a part of the chamber here in the Filipino American Chamber of Greater Pasadena, please just reach out to us. We don't have anything solid yet, but we're trying to encourage that so that we can go ahead and collaborate, and that'll be another arrangement altogether. So with that being said, that's pretty much everything that I have to say. Now, I do have one last thing to say. Our goal basically is to slowly get back into in-person events, everyone. And I'm speaking to everyone that's in the areas that we serve. We want to continue to empower more of our members and their businesses and expand our reach, not only in the communities that we service, but being Filipino American Chamber, we want to also form a solid connection with Philippine Chambers of Commerce to continue the collaboration of doing international business. Stay tuned for our next event, which will be a joint event with other Philam chambers, our local mixers, and online event collaborations with the Philippine Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, everyone. And this is the part where I'm going to go ahead and have either Ishka or Paul instruct everybody to go into the lounges so that you can go ahead and do some, one-on-one with the people, the sponsor, or any of the speakers.
All right. Okay, everyone.
All right,
thank you for watching our presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. We will all be at the lounge, and just click on the tables, any tables that you'd like to join and ask your questions directly with the host and the speaker of the tables. So we look forward to seeing you there. Ish?
All right, everyone. We'll see you at the lounge. We will be at the tables if you want to talk to us. Thank you very much.